Chapter 14 Temptation begins in the haunting world of Death Note. Darkness fills the frame as she stands alone under dim light, her presence calm yet dangerously composed. Her eyes remain lowered, focused on the simple act in front of her, but the silence around her feels heavy, as if something far greater is unfolding beneath the surface. There is no hesitation in her movements, only quiet confidence, a sense that she already knows the consequences, yet chooses to walk forward anyway. The air feels still, almost suffocating, as temptation takes shape not through words, but through her actions, through her resolve, through the path she is about to take. This is where choices begin to blur and consequences start to take form. Welcome back to the story. Let us step into Chapter 14 Temptation together. The room is quiet, heavy with focus as the task force gathers around the table. L sits curled into himself on the chair, eyes lowered yet intensely aware, while Soichiro, Yagami, and the other officers watch him closely. Watari stands silently in the background, observing. L speaks without lifting his gaze, his tone calm but precise. So, whenever you need to give your name to anyone, please use these fake IDs. The instruction settles over them. Tuta Matsuda gives a small nod, responding simply. Okay. L's posture doesn't change, but his eyes sharpen slightly as he continues, reinforcing the warning. But make sure you don't pull them out by mistake inside the NPA. At that, Kanzo Mogi and Shuichi Aizawa exchange tense looks. The seriousness of the situation becomes unmistakable, and one of them voices the concern that could cause problems. A brief silence follows. Then, with firm resolve, Soichiro Yagami answers. Understood. The room feels heavy with quiet anticipation as he calmly opens the case, his movements precise and deliberate. His voice breaks the silence. Oh, and he lifts one of the belts, placing it forward, as if presenting something far more significant than it appears. Please wear these belts at all times. The simple object carries an unsettling weight. The group leans in slightly, their curiosity turning into unease as Watari continues, his expression unchanged, almost mechanical. It will tell Ryusuke where you are. A transmitter is embedded inside the buckle. The words land heavily, eyes widen, and confusion spreads across their faces. One of them voices what they are all thinking. Belts? Watari, unfazed, holds the buckle closer, demonstrating it with steady hands. And he presses the buckle with firm intent, his finger applying pressure as he explains the hidden mechanism. If you push the buckle with force 2 times, before he can even finish, a sharp sound cuts through the air. He raises his phone slightly, letting the demonstration speak for itself. My cell phone will ring. Beep, beep, beep. The faint electronic sound echoes in the room, and in that moment, the true purpose of the belts becomes clear. Control, surveillance, and absolute certainty. Just the kind of measure Ryusuke would rely on. The atmosphere remains controlled, almost clinical, as Watari stands with his back to the group, his calm authority never wavering. I will then call you back right away. His words are steady, leaving no room for doubt. The responsibility settles over the task force as the explanation continues, their attention fixed on every detail. Please check in every morning at the NPA's task force office as usual. Then, using this method, it will tell you Ryusuke's hotel and room number. You can also use this in any emergency. The weight of procedure and precision becomes clear. This is no ordinary investigation. Every step is calculated. Matsuda grips the belt with a spark of excitement, his energy breaking through the otherwise serious mood. Wow, it's like we're a top secret squad assigned to go after Kira. A sharp voice cuts through instantly, grounding the moment. Matsuda, don't be silly. We're not fooling around here. The tension snaps back into place. Matsuda stiffens, shrinking slightly under the reprimand, his enthusiasm fading into compliance. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, L, seated with his usual detached posture, watches quietly, his eyes sharp despite his relaxed frame. His voice enters the conversation, calm yet decisive. One more thing. There's nobody in the NPS task force office right now. That's no good. The room stills again as his logic takes hold. Take turns, so one of you is always over there. Aizawa reacts immediately, stepping forward with urgency, already moving to act. Aizawa, you be the one today. We'll do that. Yes, yeah. I can be back there in 5 minutes. Without hesitation, the plan is set into motion. Every movement now carries purpose, as the hunt for Kira tightens with quiet, relentless precision. Out in the cold, quiet streets, the air feels sharper, heavier. Light walks beside the Naomi, his posture calm, his expression unreadable. Behind him, Ryuk looms with a twisted grin, watching everything unfold with airy amusement. Light's thoughts tighten, cold and precise. If someone's in the task force office when she gets back, Kira I is done for. His gaze shifts slightly, calculating every second, every possibility. I have to get her real name and eliminate. Less than 3 minutes left. The pressure builds silently inside him, his composure holding, but only just. I'm running out of time. I've got to do something. His steps slow for a fraction of a moment. Then he turns toward her, forcing a natural pause. She stops and looks at him, her expression calm, slightly curious. Yes, the space between them feels thin, fragile, as if one wrong move could shatter everything. Light stands calmly before Naomi Misora, his expression composed, voice measured as he begins to steer the conversation. I ought to tell you, it isn't actually possible for you to speak directly with a task force member. Naomi's eyes widen slightly, caught off guard. What? Behind his steady gaze, Light's thoughts sharpen, calculating every word and pause with precision. I just have to keep talking. It has to sound natural, and it has to keep her interested. And somewhere in there, I need to get an opening to find out her name. A quiet confidence settles within him. I'm sure I can do it. Without missing a beat, he presses forward, guiding her attention. Didn't you think it was strange that nobody was in the task force office? Naomi hesitates, recalling the unease she felt earlier. Well, yes, I did think it was strange. Light leans into that doubt, his tone firm yet reassuring, as if revealing something important. The Kira Investigation Task Force is using this new system to keep its members a secret. A flicker of realization crosses Naomi's face. Light continues, his words now carrying a subtle weight, invoking memory and fear. If detectives on this case go around meeting anybody WHO comes to the office, the tragedy that befell your fiancé could be repeated. The air tightens. Naomi's expression softens, her resistance giving way as the logic settles in. You're right. On the busy street, Light Yagami stands composed in front of Naomi Misora, his voice calm, calculated. That's why you were told that nobody was there. And that's what they'll always tell you, no matter how many times you go. Naomi remains silent, her sharp eyes studying him, sensing something beneath the surface. Behind Light, Ryuk leans in with a twisted grin, enjoying every second. Hyuk. That's good, Light. You smooth talker, you. Light's expression tightens for a fraction of a second, his thoughts cutting through the moment. I'm trying to figure out how to make her tell me her name. Ryuk, so do me a favor and shut the hell you be. A flicker of realization crosses his eyes. Naomi steps forward slightly, her voice steady but probing. Why do you know so much about this investigation? Light meets her gaze, calm on the outside, cornered within. Well, a quiet resolve forms as the pressure closes in. Okay, I suppose I have no choice. A quiet tension hangs in the air as Light Yagami stands firm, his voice calm, almost reassuring yet carrying an invisible weight. Behind him, Ryuk lingers with a twisted grin, silently observing the exchange. That's because I'm a member of the task force, myself. The statement lands sharply. Naomi Misora reacts instantly, her eyes widening with disbelief. What? You, a member of the task force? Yes. Light doesn't hesitate. His composure remains intact, as if everything is already under his control. This investigation is being led by L. Yes, that's what I thought. The air settles, but only slightly. As they move forward together, the conversation deepens, each word revealing more than it should. Well, the task force has lost a lot of members. Detectives have been quitting in fear of their lives, and L was concerned he didn't have enough people. Light's expression hardens, just a fraction focused, precise. It's true I'm still in high school, but I've helped the NPA solve 2 other cases in the past. There are quiet confidence in the way he speaks, every detail reinforcing his credibility. So L agreed to let me join the task force on a flexible basis. I go in whenever I have the time. Naomi walks beside him, listening carefully, her face composed, but her mind clearly working beneath the surface. The task force today is a small team of trusted, highly qualified people. A calm explanation. Yet beneath it all, something feels calculated. The tension lingers as Light listens closely, his sharp eyes fixed on Naomi Misora. Behind him, Ryuk stands in eerie silence, watching with quiet amusement. And all of us have been handpicked by L. A brief pause settles in. Naomi's gaze remains steady. She continues, calm and composed, as if weighing every word. So by talking to you, I've spoken to a member of the task force. And that's as good as speaking directly to L. Light absorbs this, his expression tightening slightly. If this means my insights will be passed on to L, that's all I care about. That's good enough for me. For a moment, it seems settled, but Naomi's resolve does not waver. No, it's not good enough. Light's composure cracks just enough to reveal urgency beneath. I still don't know your name. The air stiffens between them. Naomi turns slightly, her voice steady as she begins to reveal more of her past. I worked with L myself 2 years ago. That was a case in the US. Of course, he was just a voice that came through the computer. There are quiet confidence in her words, something built from experience rather than belief. But I know from that experience that I can trust him 100%. And that he really can solve any crime, including this one. Light's eyes widen slightly, caught off guard. You worked with L? The weight of her claim lingers. And the silence that follows, Ryuk watches intrigued as the balance between them subtly begins to shift. Naomi Misora faces him without hesitation, her voice steady, eyes unwavering. Yes, I was an FBI agent until just 3 months ago. For a fraction of a second, Light Yagami stiffens. A sharp glint flashes in his eye. Something calculating awakening beneath the calm. That's IT. I can use this. Just as quickly, his expression softens into polite admiration, his tone smooth and convincing. You were? Well, that explains it. No wonder your actions and your determination to catch Kira was so professional. I was really impressed by your sharp analysis, but also by your caution, your prudence. Naomi's gaze dipped slightly, her posture composed but cautious, as if weighing every word. With regard to this case, I decided it would be dangerous to trust the police, and even the task force. But a quiet certainty settles over her as she lifts her eyes again. L has my complete trust. The distant city stands silent behind them as she continues, resolute. I thought if I went to the task force office and had them verify my identity, they would let me speak to L directly. Light listens without interruption, his face calm and attentive. While beneath that stillness, his mind moves with precise intent. Cold air drifts between them as Light Yagami walks beside Naomi Misora, both silent for a moment. I see. Their footsteps echo faintly, the distance between them filled with unspoken tension. Light's eyes narrow slightly, curiosity mixing with caution. But then, why did you tell me what should have been for Ellis years only? Naomi finally speaks, her tone calm. but her gaze steady and sharp. I was upset they wouldn't let me through to the task force. And just then, someone saying he's the son of the task force chief shows UP. And that person. Light listens closely, every word weighing heavily in his mind. A quiet realization flickers across his face as Naomi continues, her voice thoughtful. Reminded me of L. I feel that you and he are similar, somehow. The space between them grows still again. Light remains silent, his expression composed, but his thoughts tightening beneath the surface. Snow falls softly as Light Yagami lowers his gaze, his eyes sharpening with quiet resolve. The hesitation fades, replaced by something calculated, decisive. Would you like to join the investigation? The words land with precision. Naomi Misora freezes caught off guard, her eyes widening. What? Light turns slightly toward her, extending his hand, calm and inviting, as if offering trust. Why don't you join the task force? If you do that, you can work directly with L. Not just that, you can personally bring Kira to justice. Naomi stares at him, conflicted, her expression shifting as the weight of his words sinks in. The falling snow continues around them, quiet, but the tension between them grows heavier with every passing second. Snow drifts quietly between the tall buildings as Naomi Misora speaks with calm restraint, her voice grounded in reality. I got to join the task force on my father's recommendation, just because I helped solve a couple of cases before. That's how short of people they are. But they can't take just anybody. Light Yagami listens without interruption, his expression steady, already prepared with his next move. You're exactly the type of person we need. Why stop at providing this information? With your career background as an FBI agent, you'd be perfect. And you've even worked with L before. He already trusts you. Naomi's eyes shift slightly, processing every word, her guard still up. All you need to join US is proof of your identity, the recommendation of a present task force member, and LS permission. Light leans forward just enough, closing the gap with confidence, his hand still extended. It's got to be some kind of fate that we met like this today. I'll give you the recommendation you need to join the task force. Behind him, Ryuk watches with a crooked grin, amused by the unfolding manipulation. Hyuk. That's brilliant. Light. Human females always fall for that word, fate. You could be a god of salesmanship, too. Naomi remains silent. Snow drifts quietly as Naomi Misora walks beside Light Yagami, her voice soft, slightly shaken. Oh, excuse me. I got kind of carried away. Not at all. Light answers calmly, guiding the conversation with quiet control. Even if you joined on a flexible basis like myself, I realize you must have other commitments. Plus, I gather you live in the United States. Naomi lowers her eyes, her composure slipping as the truth weighs on her. I was supposed to move there permanently this spring, after we got married. But now that my fiancé is dead, right now, I really don't know what I'm going to do. A silence follows, heavy and personal. Light watches carefully, every detail sinking in. Great. We're getting there. Retreat just a little more. But you're still a beautiful young woman. And this really is a very dangerous investigation. Something inside Naomi snaps into focus, grief turning into resolve. No, I have nothing left to lose anymore. I want to get Kira. It's the only thing that matters to me anymore. Her voice cuts through the cold air, firm and unshaken now, while Light stands still, composed, his plan moving exactly as intended. Snow falls in silence as Naomi Misora faces Light Yagami, her decision now firm, her eyes steady. Please let me join the investigation. For a moment, nothing moves, only their eyes speak. Naomi's filled with determination. Light's sharp and calculating. Light's gaze narrows slightly, a quiet shift behind his calm exterior. Then, a faint smile forms as he steps forward, voice smooth and welcoming. Gladly. If you could just show me some form of identification? Naomi hesitates, her posture tightening just a little. Oh, yes? A pause stretches between them. Something feels off. From a distance, the two stand facing each other in the falling snow, tension quietly building. Well, the name I gave you earlier wasn't my real name. I'm very sorry. Light's expression freezes for a fraction of a second. What? But it vanishes just as quickly, replaced by composure. That's okay. Behind his calm face, a single thought lingers in the silence, his plan slipping further away. The tension tightens as Light Yagami and Naomi Misora continue their quiet exchange. A calm, controlled voice breaks the silence. In fact, it's better than okay. I should have done the Samayoi were ahead of me there. If you weren't taking any chances and keeping your name a secret, I'd say that's even further proof of your eligibility. There's a pause, measured and deliberate. Then, almost clinically, is a Japanese driver's license good enough? A simple answer follows. Yes. The moment lingers as Naomi presents her identification. The card is steady in her hand, her face composed, unwavering. The name printed clearly, Naomi Misora. No hesitation, no visible doubt. Light's expression tightens slightly, a cold thought surfacing behind his calm exterior. God, this woman is stupid. I can't believe she fell for this. He looks down at the situation with quiet calculation, the realization settling in. If she hadn't insisted on the task force and just talked to the police, Kira would have been caught. Instead, now she's saved his life. A brief pause follows, almost like a silent exhale. That was a close call. Walking beside Naomi under the open sky, he keeps his tone casual, controlled. When were you in the FBI? She answers without hesitation, her voice steady and factual. From Sept. 2001 to October 2003. The air turns colder as silence replaces conversation. A pair of polished shoes steadily across the pavement, each step measured and unhurried. The rhythm is calm, almost indifferent, as if nothing unusual is happening. Nearby, Light Yagami lowers his gaze, his expression composed and focused. His hand moves with precision as he writes, the pen gliding smoothly across the small surface he holds. There is no hesitation, no wasted motion, only quiet intent. The card remains in his other hand, steady between his fingers. The identity he was shown moments ago is now being used. Every detail already processed, already decided. Behind him, Naomi Misora stands still, her posture calm, unaware of the significance of what is unfolding just inches away. There is no sign of suspicion in her stance, no interruption to the fragile normalcy of the moment. A passerby moves ahead under a dark umbrella, eyes forward, detached from everything behind him. Light continues writing without looking up, completely absorbed. The world around them carries on buildings, pavement, drifting flecks in the aisle. Something irreversible is quietly set into motion. A hand moves with quiet precision, pen gliding across paper as fate is written line by line. The name Naomi Misora rests at the top, followed by chillingly deliberate instructions. Other pages beneath it carry different names, already sealed by the same unseen judgment. A thought cuts through the silence inside Light Yagami's mind, sharp with irritation. What a pain, writing this all out again for the same damn woman. Time continues to slip forward. Standing face to face, Naomi Misora studies him carefully, her voice calm but questioning. Why do you keep looking at your watch all the time? For a brief instant, Light's composure remains intact, but his eyes shift downward, drawing again to his wrist. His tone stays casual, controlled. Oh, my watch? That's because the moment lingers. A close, silent focus on the watch face, its hands moving steadily, marking each passing second. Time, precise and unstoppable, continues its quiet march forward. A faint smile forms on Light Yagami's lips, calm, controlled, yet carrying something far more dangerous beneath the surface. His eyes lock forward, unwavering, as if the moment he has been waiting for has finally arrived. I am Kira. The words land with quiet certainty. Across from him, Naomi Misora freezes, her eyes widening in pure disbelief, her voice breaking the sudden stillness. A breath passes uncertain, fragile. Her posture stiffens, confusion taking over as she tries to grasp what she just heard. Her gaze trembles slightly, searching his face for meaning, for doubt, for anything that could deny it. What do you mean? But Light doesn't move. His wrist turns ever so slightly. The watch face comes into focus, its hands aligned with ruthless precision. 1:25 p.m. Go! And in that single instant, time feels less like a measure and more like a trigger. A strange stillness settles over Naomi Misora. Her body begins to turn, her movements unnaturally calm, as if something unseen is guiding her away. Her expression empties, distant and detached. Light Yagami watches her closely, his posture relaxed, voice steady and almost casual. What's the matter? Naomi doesn't look back. Her voice comes out faint, as if it no longer belongs to her. There's something I have to do. Light lowers his gaze slightly, his eyes shadowed, the faintest hint of satisfaction hidden beneath his calm exterior. Light's hand moves with quiet precision. A phone appears in his grip, and with a soft motion, snap, it flips open. He lifts it slightly, tone light, almost helpful. Hey, my father's phone eyes back on. Didn't you want to talk to him? The offer hangs in the air, but Naomi continues forward, her steps steady, her will no longer her own. Naomi Misora continues forward without turning back, her steps steady, her figure slowly distancing itself, as if pulled by an invisible command. Her voice, calm and empty, drifts behind her. No, I have nothing to say to him. A quiet pause follows. Close behind, Light Yagami watches her with a still, unreadable expression. Only his eyes shift cold, focused, certain. His voice lowers, almost a whisper, carrying no hesitation. Goodbye, Naomi Misora. The words settle into the silence like a final verdict. The distance between them grows. Naomi walks ahead, her silhouette small against the city, never once looking back. Light remains where he is, unmoving. Beside him, Ryuk leans forward slightly, his grin lingering as he watches the inevitable unfold. And just like that, the moment passes quiet, irreversible, and complete. Darkness takes over completely, replacing the human world with something far colder, far more absolute. The atmosphere feels heavy, as if governed by rules that exist beyond emotion, beyond morality. Suicide is a valid cause of death. Basically, all humans are thought to possess the possibility to commit suicide. It is, therefore, not something unbelievable to think of. This is the silent truth behind the death note, not chaos, but structure, not randomness, but precise, unyielding logic. Everything that just unfolded was never accidental. Every action, every word, every passing second was confined within boundaries that cannot be broken. Whether the cause of the individual's death is either a suicide or accident, if the death leads to the death of more than the intended, the person will simply die of a heart attack. This is to ensure that other lives are not influenced. There is no hesitation here, no doubt, only rules, and the inevitability that follows them.